Hello and welcome to The Villain Was Right, the podcast where we look at movies and TV shows from the villain's perspective and dare to ask, were they really all that bad? I'm your host, Rebecca Reeds.
And I'm your host, Craig Fay.
And this week we are talking about the Swan Princess, Blast from the Past, 1994.
Yeah, this is
OG.
highly requested, by the way.
There are so many freaking sequels to this movie. It's mind-boggling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know when. But I know this had a significant hold on the 90s.
To this day, I looked it up and like on IMDb, and the director of this basically did. He did Fox and the Hound, the Disney movie.
Oh, damn!
Then he did Black Cauldron, another Disney movie.
Yep.
Then got fired from Disney, basically, and has basically been doing Princess Swan and like Book of Mormon cartoons his entire career up until like 2025.
What?
Yeah. Like animated Book of Mormon, like and like other like it's a wild thing.
That's a swing. Like, that's really like, from one side to the other.
But without like 16, 17 Swan Princess sequels, it's
out of control. It's
and
absolutely
this movie
bananas.
Does not warrant that many sequels.
I don't think so. But I remember like liking it as a kid for sure.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing. I think it is just like I think it's a pretty solid kids movie.
Yes. But there are plot points in it where a lot of the answers to why is just because.
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing
there's
there
no
for an
explanation. There's nothing happening. It's just like, why? Anyway, okay. I feel like I'm going to go off on a crazy tangent that we don't even need just yet. What I will say, if you've never seen The Swan Princess, congratulations. Somehow you've missed an 18-movie franchise. Okay, you've missed 100 movies. Anyway, the Swan Princess, essentially we've got two royalty peoples. We've got a prince and a princess, and their parents make them visit each other every summer in hopes that they'll get together. All the townspeople hope they get together because apparently it's allegedly going to lower taxes, but we know how that goes. Okay, it's always higher taxes. Okay, there's no way. Anyway, so and then we've got Rothbart, the magical, mystical, evil man that just wants to overthrow this royal establishment. Okay. It's nonsense. Anyway, he gets thrown out because they realize that he's trying to overthrow the king. He disappears for a while. They grow up. Derek and what the hell is Odette, for some reason. Anyway, so Derek and Odette, they decide that they do actually like each other. They're in love. They're gonna get hitched. And she says, well, why do you love me? And he goes, well, you're so beautiful. And she goes, and what else? And even though they've spent every summer together since they were born, this man couldn't come up with a single other thing to say to her. Madness. Anyway, freaking Rothbart casts a spell on her where she... oh God, the moon. There's something. The moonlight.
He turns her into a swan.
Yes,
and she only turns back to a human when the moon hits the lake.
But she also has to be back at the lake, or she dies.
No, I think she just doesn't turn back into a human. She's
just a swan forever. Anyway,
we'll get into
parts of this kind of broke my brain a little bit, where I was like, we could have just streamlined some of this. I feel like there's some weird mystical magical rules that make no sense and have no rhyme or reason to them at all, but whatever. So she makes friends with a few other animals, a turtle, a frog, and a puffin for some fucking reason. Although very cute. They're all very cute. Anyway, Derek doesn't believe that she is dead, tries to find her. All of a sudden is like, oh, things aren't as they seem. So that means that people are animals. That's logically. Okay, that's what that meant when that guy said that to me. So he just takes a huge leap, somehow knows everything that's going down, but thinks the swan, thinks Odette is the actual creature, like the animal.
Great animal.
The great animal, okay. Realizes it's her, they hatch a plan. Anyway, point being is we get to the end. Rothbart has tried to trick him into marrying him, like his associate.
Yeah, I think it might be his daughter, technically.
I don't know.
But they don't make it
They're
clear
trying
in
to
this.
find some legal loophole that I guess could have been done the whole time. There's a lot happening that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm glad you said that, because I was like, am I just not paying enough attention to this children's movie?
If anything, I think we're paying attention too much. Okay, we're paying attention too much. You got to shut your brain down. You got to go, okay, she's a swan. There's a bad guy. Love. Roll credits. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ends up dying at the end.
It's actually one of the coolest moves I've seen in an animated movie, where his assistant shoots the arrow at him and he grabs it out of midair, loads it in the arrow, and shoots the guy
that's
with
right,
it.
yeah.
I was like, I was like, damn, I wasn't expected to be impressed at this point in the movie, you know? But I was like, that was a fucking badass move.
That's right. And then they get married, roll creds.
Roll creds.
Roll creds, the Swan Princess.
Yeah.
Although the entire time, and it's not the same thing, but the entire time I was watching this movie, I was like, oh, I just want one of those, the fairy spinners. Do you ever have one of those? You ever see that video where it goes
into the fire?
Because they would just go off any fucking where.
Yeah. They're like helicopters, but they're like fairies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's all this movie made me want to play with one of those.
That's why it has 17 sequels. Because it's just like there's something about. It's got the right elements, right? It's got princess, swan.
Yep.
Obviously, one of the coolest, most elegant looking birds by,
Yeah.
And it's just like, I want to buy princess stuff, I want to buy fairy stuff, and I want to keep this fantasy train rolling,
Absolutely. This movie is absolutely bananas. I don't know.
It is bananas.
It is, 5-star bananas.
I saw one review of this where they were like, this is like contemporary review where they're like, this is better than The Lion King. And I was like, absolutely not. I cannot imagine.
Beg your pardon.
Came out same year.
It's better than The Lion King.
I don't know how, as a professional
watched
movie.
2 different movies.
Yeah, right?
There's no way that we're watching the same movies.
That's a professional movie reviewer for like a newspaper was like, oh, this is better than The Lion King.
Jesus Christ.
No, history has not borne that opinion out, but yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's boggling me. Okay, so obviously the villain. Rothbart. Who, I mean, with that type of name, what are you going to do?
It is.
It's like when people are surprised that Elon Musk is not a good guy. I'm like, it's in his name. Listen to his fucking name. He's an evil man.
But Rothbart doesn't even sound like, I don't know. It just doesn't give wizard vibes to me. Like, that's the thing I thought right away. I was like, Rothbart.
Yeah, it kind of gives like henchmen, like bumbling henchmen.
Yeah, something not, yeah. And like, I looked it up. So like, obviously this movie is like, it's based on a German fairy tale.
Okay.
Right? On which Swan Lake is like based.
I see.
Right. So it's like, so Rothbart is a character in all of that, but they also call him like Count von Rothbart, which like the von just adds something to it.
It does add a little zhuzh. It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas like Rothbart in this, I'm like, I don't find you that evil. I don't find you that intimidating.
No.
I think,
if anything, you're making a lot of weird choices. I think there's a play happening in this man's head that nobody else is experiencing.
yeah.
He's out of control. Some of the decisions he makes, I
think you worded that perfectly. I think he is out of control. I don't think a lot of the stuff that he's doing works. Like,
no,
I
it
don't
just
think
doesn't
it's
make any sense.
intentional.
I'm like, these are all bad plans.
Right?
None of this makes any sense. Just knock these people out. Say you're king.
Yeah. And I mean, oh my God. I've got so many questions for you about this movie. One is, so he's trying to be king.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, this is the movie as it presents it without any commentary by me, where he goes, okay, I've turned you into a swan, and you're going to agree to marry me. I'm going to come to you every night and ask you to marry me because if I marry you, then I am the legitimate king, and it's not really stealing the throne. It's official. He actually has a great line where he's like, if you steal something, you spend your entire life stopping people from stealing it back.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like, I want to be this. So she's a swan a lot. Over what time frame does this happen? Because the king is dead.
Yes.
The only heir to the throne, Odette, is missing. And when she shows up again, some people don't recognize her.
That scene is nuts. It's like, well, it kind of looks like her, but it can't be her. And it kind of looks like her. It is her.
Yeah.
Looks exactly fucking like her. Yeah, my guess, if I was to venture a guess, I'd be like maybe 6 months.
Okay, well then who's in charge for that 6 months? Is Rothbart the king? He's wearing a crown at some point. Did he
No,
take
he's
the
not
throne?
the king. No.
Oh, okay.
He's not the king because
So-
he's still trying to convince her to make it happen.
Right, so nobody's in charge between the death of the king and her showing up again, like 6 months later, not being recognized by a woman who's known
Maybe
her
it's a
entire
week.
life. Yeah, but it's still fucking crazy. Like, I think it goes to show how bad William, her father, was at ruling.
That's
in
so
that,
funny.
like,
People like he's gone. It's like a CEO taking off and everybody being like, we're actually getting a lot more work done, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Things are going a lot smoother since your departure.
Nobody mention it.
Yeah. We'll all just pretend this is business as usual. If anybody asks, he's on a business trip.
Yeah. They're like, thank God we don't have to pay for a royal wedding.
Yeah. I am also, you know me, I'm team knock out the royals.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm team knockout the royals. Although I think anybody that strongly wants that amount of power just probably shouldn't have it either.
Yeah, that's true. Although I would like to say, so they start the movie with Rothbart being like, oh, he was going to overthrow him with the forbidden arts. What makes him forbidden?
Oh, yeah, I really took that as, oh, you know how to do math. You're like the devil.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This man's a chemist, okay? Fucking relax.
Right? Like, yeah, it's like, is it forbidden because it gives the average person power?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
I think so, absolutely.
It's like, well, we can't have just any lay person, being smart and intelligent enough to rule, because that's, you got to be born into that.
What do you think? Okay, I want to venture. What do you think all the sequels are?
I mean, there's a lot of like Escape from the Castle, Treasure of the Castle. Like, there's like.
I love that you looked fantastic.
I mean, I skimmed.
Yeah,
Like, it's a lot, but it's like mystery of the like. It's
They just
all
went
of that
Nancy
stuff.
Drew with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They did. That feels like ad lib. Like, mystery of the royal wedding is one. Like, it's like yeah. It's a lot of.
We just got a random word generator, and it's like it just has to have the word castle in it. And we're down.
Castle princess.
Castle
wedding.
Princess. Sparkle.
Sparkle. Yeah. Mystery sparkle adventure.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I think all these sequels are going to be declining in quality precipitously, which is something sad.
I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah.
I suppose it is.
Here's the thing.
I think I've shown you a lot of the movies where that's possible.
Here's the thing. This movie is well animated.
Oh, it's honestly, and as much as like we're ragging on it, I didn't mind that much watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's just like, this movie's illogical, but it like looks nice, and I like some of these characters. Honestly, I thought some of the voice acting was really good.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
There's some good performances in it. I'm like, this isn't an absolutely like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. It's just some of the logic in it. I'm going, what the fuck is happening?
A lot of times they're just like, and now it is time for animal shenanigans.
Yes.
We're just going to do 5 minutes of animal shenanigans, whether it's motivated by the plot or not.
Who cares?
We got
Let it ride.
a puffin who apparently has a military, he's Colonel Puffin or something. Scottish for some reason. Wait, are puffins in Scotland?
Oh, buddy, I am too hungover to answer that question. I gotta tell you.
I was like, I know they're in like Newfoundland and like Canada and stuff, but like I didn't know if
I don't
northern
know.
bird. I don't know how. Anyway.
Sorry to this bird.
Yeah. Anyway,
couldn't tell you.
and the frog played by why can't I think of it? Jesus,
that was a buffer, Matt.
Monty Python. Jesus, why can't I think of his name? Oh my God. See, okay, Rebecca and I had a few last. John Cleese. There we go.
There we go.
It's like
Okay.
it's peripheral vision. You can't look right at it.
Oh yeah, it'll
you'll
blind
forget
you.
the name. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, John Cleese also turned down The Lion King. He was offered Zazu in The Lion King.
Well, he knew that critically acclaimed as much better than The Lion. He knew.
Better than The Lion King.
Yeah, he knew what time it was. He knew
Yeah.
it was going to be better. Okay, I can't even. The songs. Listen to the songs alone.
Yeah.
Okay, and try and tell me, because the songs in this movie, there's a lot of songs, in this movie, and I gotta tell you, I'm not humming not one of them.
No.
None of them got stuck in my head.
The songs kicked in. I was like, great, I can kind of check out for the next minute and a half, and they're not going to, like, the plot's not going to get moved along.
no,
I can
no,
just stop focusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no bangers. That's for sure. We'll get back to Rothbart in a second, but I do very quickly just want to touch on Prince Derek.
Jesus Christ.
And just what a fucking idiot
He's
he
the
is.
worst. He's the worst. That is my least favorite thing of, well, what do you love about me? We've hung out every summer since we were small babies.
Yeah.
You can't think of one. You haven't seen
One
me like
thing.
play chess or something and go, that's pretty cool. You're smart.
Yeah. And like, as you pointed out, like essentially groomed for this. Like just like, you will marry this woman.
Your whole goal.
Your whole goal is that. This is why we put you together. And they both know that. They
Yes.
resist it. But like, you're telling me that in all of that process, nobody has taught you how to say nice things to somebody. Like it's such a massive fuck up on such a it's like an unforgivable fuck up.
Yes, forever gone. I've walked up to strangers and been like, you have great style. You just, you look like you really know how to put an outfit together. Okay.
Right, yeah.
A stranger. Okay. I could walk around giving compliments to literally fucking anybody, let alone somebody I've hung out with every summer for my entire freaking life. I hate that the moment where, and I understand it's probably for time reasons. We got to keep it tight, right? This is a children's movie. Tight hour and a half. Okay, we got to get in and out. But if I'm having a moment in a movie where I'm like, okay, and this is where they fall in love.
Yeah.
It's not just, she stepped out and now she looks hot to me. And I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
do something where you have a related interest or something and you're like, oh wow, she made a really funny joke. Maybe she's not. Maybe I'm kind of into this.
What is this? What is this feeling I've never had before towards her? I agree with that. I also think it makes total sense the way that they did it, where it's like these are two people who have spent their entire summers together, their whole life, always being pushed together, being like, I fucking hate this person as children. And then all of a sudden one summer they're both young and hot and they're like, oh, I fucking get it now. You know, it's like
the hormones kick in, they
hormone
kick
kicks in. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Did you have that ass the entire time? I never noticed. Delicious.
Oh shit. This Derek's not the pimply faced kid I grew up with, you know?
No, but let's overthrow these people.
Yeah.
I can't say they're like, oh, we want them to get together so that the taxes are lower. And I'm like, oh no, who voted for these motherfuckers? Get them out.
Get him out.
Get them out of here. Get Rothbart in. His goddamn name is Rothbart. Okay, you got to give him a break.
Yeah.
You got to let him relax.
He sounds like an accountant. It sounds like a guy who should be in charge, kind of, right?
I'm telling you, I just think he's just smart. He knows, he understands the math of it all.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think he's a guy who understands how systems work and is like, this is not working for the peasantry.
I also think, I got to be honest with you, if I turned from a human to a swan, I'm staying swan.
Ooh.
I can fly now, Craig.
Yeah.
I'm gorgeous. Look at my slender neck. Okay. Yeah. I'm catching a couple of glimpses of myself in the lake. Okay. I'm enjoying it. There's no way I'm going back too late. Oh, no. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to fly.
That's true. You can fly. And
you can fucking fly. That's so sick.
Which is another defense I want to give for Rothbart. One, I don't think he's totally in control. Two, he's not actually that mean. So, like, okay, he turned you into a swan. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm going to argue I don't think he was fully in control of that because that's a bad fucking plan, right? Like I think it happened by accident. Like he was trying to cast some other spell, accidentally turns her into swan.
Oh, I don't think he makes the rules on this because it's the dumbest rules I've ever heard of. Yeah. No, you didn't pick that.
No. So the other thing is like, okay, so you're a swan. You can leave the lake. I haven't imprisoned you. Mm-hmm. You are free to fly around and do whatever you want. She flies and finds the prince. Great. So he's not until the very end where he's like, okay, I got to switch up my tactics a little bit. He doesn't imprison her.
He does murder a few people.
Does he? Do we ever see him do that?
It was heavily implied.
Right? I'm sorry. Right? Implication isn't, as far as we know. Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes. Here is the sequence of events that we see in this movie. Rothbart comes back, King and Odette in the carriage, right? He says, everything you own, everything you love will be mine. Then we see him turn into the great animal, which is like the least dramatic way to describe that. The great animal, yes. Great beast, scary beast, something, anything other than it's a great animal. I don't know, like turkey's a great animal.
It's not even a good nickname for a dick. Okay,
no.
Like it's not. It doesn't have any sparkle to it. Okay,
it's all like it. That sounds like something Rothbart would come up with. Though. He's like, I don't know, just like some sort of great animal. It's like you want to put a little pizzazz on it. He's like, no,
no, ship it.
No,
I like
ship it. We're done.
The branding's fine.
We don't need it anyway. So all we see is him sort of turn into some sort of creature, which I'm arguing he doesn't really have full control of these powers anyway.
Yeah, and
then. Next thing we do is we cut to like the guard coming in and be like, it was a great animal, it attacked. But we don't. Yeah. I think the guards initiated. I think the guards were like, what the fuck is that? He's just there to like, listen, King, buddy, you gotta step down. We gotta have a conversation about my exile or whatever it is. And they attack him. I think that's what happened. And I think some magic goes wrong. Not his fault.
Yeah. Also, I mean, he's a king. Off with his head.
Right?
I'm down, okay?
Yeah.
That doesn't, that guy has to go. Also because I find this so creepy. It's so creepy to try and set up your child. I always think that's so weird where it's like they're neighbors or something and they're like, oh, they're gonna end up together. And it's like, they're 4. Okay, these people, they're 4 years old. Just let them play and we don't need to talk about this and we don't need to think about this. It's freaking weird.
I agree, but I would also point out that in this world, right, marriage is a political thing. Right? It's like allegiances and whatnot. It's like diplomatic, right? So in a lot of ways, I think putting two people together and letting them get to know each other over years and years and years is probably the nicest way to do that.
I suppose.
Where you go okay. This isn't a complete stranger now. Like
within that system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just all revved up because I started watching 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh yeah, that'll ramp you up.
And I don't think I've ever been more mad at a television program. I had to stop because it was actually affecting my mood because I was like, this is like crazy to watch, but not necessarily in a fun way. I'm like, they should just call that show Child Bride. Okay, they should call that show Crime. Okay, it is crime. You are watching crimes happen. That's all that's going on. It's insane to watch. You're watching like 30-year-olds being like, yeah, well, when I was 19 and she was 11. And I'm like, ah! So now I'm just like, anytime people are like, oh, these kids should get together, I'm like, take that out of your mouth. I'm freaking out. I can't have it. Okay, well, sorry, I'm not on a tangent right now, but I gotta say, my favorite thing, because it's so wild to me. It's the most wild perspective ever. But every once in a while on this TV show, they would, the family of this disgusting man, whoever that man is for the episode or whatever, right? The family of this disgusting man will corner this woman, okay, this small child, okay, and go, what are your intentions with my son? I think you're just here for a green card. And I'm like, what is he here for? What is he here for? Please, I beg, I can't. I'm screaming at the television. I'm like, and so what? If she is, so the fuck what? Okay, yeah. Oh my God. This is insane, okay? Talk to your son. Talk to your son, man. I'm freaking out. Anyway, I think
don't have the kids together is what you're saying. Don't put them together.
No, oh God. Or it's just like their families like to hang out or whatever. I could have been painted in a nicer way, but I agree with you that within the context and the rules of this
fairy tale land,
this is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah,
because then they're not a stranger.
Exactly.
Or you can build just growing disdain over the years, and it's even worse.
That's true. It could be far worse.
You're like, I'm actually gonna kill this motherfucker.
Yeah. But in that regard, Rothbart is also he's trying to marry Odette. But that's also just a political thing for him. He's got no ill intention there. And you know what I mean?
Okay. And you know what I like about it is it doesn't have that icky, because sometimes they do this in like Disney movies and stuff like that. Like, can't wait to be with you. He was just like, no, this is a political move. Okay, I'm not gonna touch you.
We will rule together. Is what he says. Yeah. I will share power with you.
Yeah, there you go.
And then there is a brief time where
feminist,
a feminist icon, Rothbart. He's like, baby, you're a swan. You know, I'm fine with it. You can rule. And he even says, like, listen, there's a brief moment where she like lies and says she will marry him. And he's like, great, I'll be a good husband. I'm going to dress up. I'm going to like shower and shave and like
I'm not going to let myself go.
Not going to let myself go. And it's like, and this is what I want. Like, I'm not going to treat you. Here's the thing. They even the movie seems to flip back and forth about whether he's a nice guy.
It does have there are shifts in tones where it's like sometimes he has to sing a song to be like, remember I'm the bad guy. I'm so bad. I like revenge.
Yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Yes. And then like he locks her up and he's like, listen, I'm so sorry about this. This brings me no pleasure doing this to you. I was like, this is not how I wanted this to go down. Are you okay in there? And then
good?
Like, yeah.
You good, my prisoner?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying this?
And here's the other thing. This is another thing. Like, doesn't lock her up until the very end, right? Free to fly around. Also, turned her into a swan. I don't know how much you know about swans. Mm-hmm. That is a pretty capable animal. A swan can fuck you up if they want to.
Swans are terrifying,
right?
Man. Swans are right up there with geese. Okay, they got the exact same vibe to them. Don't fuck with them.
No, they are worse than geese. You want to know why?
Why?
They employ swans to scare away geese.
Oh no!
Right? That's a straight up killer.
I will cross the street if I was outside walking around and I would absolutely cross the street.
Yeah.
I don't care what hour it is.
No.
Okay, we're out of here. All right. That goose has a gun.
Swans have killed people.
No, I absolutely believe they're fucking terrifying.
Yeah, there was some guy in a boat and they like capsized the boat and then sat on him until he drowned. Like they basically just like he couldn't get to shore. Because like they're super defensive of their nests and things. Also, they're like
so gangster.
Yeah. This is straight from Wikipedia. Swans attack by striking at the threat with bony spurs in their wings, accompanied by biting with their large bill. While smaller water birds such as ducks are normally grabbed with the swan's bill and dragged or thrown clear of the swan and its offspring. Swans will kill intruders into their territory, both other swans and geese and ducks, by drowning, climbing onto and pecking the back of their head and forcing the bird underwater. So you could have turned her into a far less capable.
Oh yeah, you gave her a arsenal
Yeah.
of weapons. I didn't even consider that. They are vicious.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, I didn't know they use them to get rid of other birds though.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's because other birds are scared of them. Like,
Well,
so they get rid of, and they go
a
after other
healthy
birds.
respect should be given.
Yeah.
But also gorgeous at the same time.
Right.
Oh, what a bird to be.
Yeah.
What a bird to be. Although every time we talk about turning into animals, I feel like you say squirrel.
Oh, yeah, I'd be a squirrel immediately. I saw a squirrel out in my lawn the other day, and I was like, I like that guy.
I like that guy.
He was staying warm, when they're all like small and puffy.
Every time I watch Bob's Burgers, and they have a scene of Linda like talking about the raccoons in the back and how they all have like storylines, I'm like, I think Craig does that for squirrels.
Yeah, they have names.
Yeah, they have names. They have agendas. Okay, plot points.
This is not even a joke. I very routinely will, I love to get my cup of coffee in the morning. I open the blinds and look out the backyard. I sit there and stare and just stare out the window and sip my coffee. It's really great. And on more than one occasion, I will see a squirrel running along the back fence with a full pita or naan or hamburger bun or something like that. Just out of someone's trash or it's been fed. And I will say out loud, I am by myself. I am saying this to no one. I go, oh, that's a fucking get, bud. And then I sit there and watch the meat like a pizza crust. And I'm just like, that's so good for you. That's great, man.
There's something very satisfying about watching a very small animal try and eat something huge.
Yeah.
I could watch hours of those videos. There's something comical about it. There's something satisfying about it where I'm like, oh, I want to be that squirrel. I want to have something that big to eat.
I'm picturing, for some reason, I'm picturing you with a giant tub of popcorn.
Oh, I like that. I was picturing pizza, but I like that.
Yeah. Just with the, kicking your feet on the chair that's a little too high for you. Just a big big smile on your face.
All chairs are too high for me.
Right. Short torso. Long torso, short legs, I should say, for me.
Oh, Craigers.
But, I do also, other ways that Derek is an idiot.
Oh, okay. Yep. It. Run it.
The jump from, as you said, the jump from not everything is as it seems to the animal must... He does it in a library. He comes up with it. And correct me if I'm wrong if there was any more thought process to it than this.
No.
But he literally pulls out a book on a rat and he's showing his buddy, look, this is a rat. And he goes, but it could also be a dragon. And he pulls out a second book that has a dragon in it. Was there any other thought process in that?
No, we were we need to move this along.
So he just read two books that there was two different animals and was like, oh, things aren't what they seem. Animals can be different animals.
Animals can be people. Yeah, basically. Yes.
That is an insane leap to make. It's nuts that he got it right.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, oh, the swan is the great animal. And he's trying to fucking shoot her. I was like, it's so... And first of all, he's training the whole time she's disappeared to hunt them blindfolded. That you are not practicing anything useful. Being able to shoot arrows blindfolded is not a useful skill.
That's
for hunting
so funny.
Right?
I didn't even clock that. Yeah, for
Why?
what purpose?
It doesn't... Being able to do it blindfolded doesn't make you a better archer.
What if somebody throws sand in your face?
It's like, when you're like, oh, you're training the wrong thing, man. You're running the wrong race.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing that is the biggest... He's the biggest fucking dumbass. Clueless about women. Absolutely clueless. Given how much he has literally been trained his whole life to be like, you are a prince. You will need to impress women. It's a political thing. We've explained this to you. We've had every summer with you. He goes back to this grand ball after confirming that Odette is alive. And he's like, everything needs to be swan themed. Swan themed. That is her fucking curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Snow White, welcome to the apple ball.
Thank you.
We all dressed up as apples.
Do you think that's a thing she might be sensitive about? But no, like,
you know how men are always throwing your trauma back in your face. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it should all be swan themed. That's so funny.
I don't know. If I had been turned into some creature, say a swan, I don't think I'd be thrilled to have a swan themed party. Don't throw it in my face.
Okay, although I will say this woman kind of seems like the type of bitch that doesn't have any personality going on, and she might just make that her whole personality continuing on.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you ever be one of those people that they're like, I love dolphins, and everything I do is about dolphins, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Maybe diversify that portfolio.
Yeah.
Just one or two more interests.
Have I ever told you about the summer I was turned into a swan?
Yes, good Lord.
We've all heard about the summer you were turned into a swan.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. Shut the fuck up.
To the point, it is her entire identity. She's the Swan Princess.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think that's not a bad... She might actually love that.
Yeah.
That woman's getting a swan tattoo right after this. Like, right after this, right on the ankle.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
ankle.
Oh,
okay.
She's going... Oh, look at her. She's going ankle for sure.
Yeah.
Was she getting a sleeve? I think not. Okay. No, that's
Although that would be a good sleeve,
that would be a good sleeve.
a white and black swan on either side, but like the neck curled around your arm, like, you know how they go,
strangling people would look really cool.
Oh, that would be really badass too.
Why? Just
the murder chicken.
Murder chicken.
Oh, you never heard that, but that's how people describe. I think that's what people describe Canada geese as, is the murder chicken.
Oh, I've never heard that in my freaking life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly accurate.
But yeah, anyway, Derek, dumb as shit. She could do better, is my point.
I don't know. I think they're both kind of nothing burgers. I'm like, you guys might need to do this. You guys might need to do this. I don't know who else is going to do this for you.
That's true.
You guys hung out for summers together, and you're like,
and you can't name a single thing about each other.
You're so hot. You're so hot, and I'm so horny.
That's how that goes, though. Where you're like, my dad makes me hang out with this boy every summer, and I fucking hate him. Like, they even saying this, the only thing they agree on is how much they dread the summers. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, you're just like, oh, hello, hormones. Yeah, yum, yum. Great. I see you in a different light now. I see your utility. Let's put it
No. I don't know if I care for that, Craig.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I care for that. That's fucking insane. The other stipulation I want to put up, because this is one of the rules, is that he can't just say that he loves her. He has to prove his love to the world, which is so fucking vague.
And like, at some point,
for a man that clearly needs clear instructions.
Yeah. That guy's not putting together IKEA furniture.
What do you think? Okay, if somebody said to you, like, listen, okay, there's some rule, Kat's gonna leave you if you don't prove to the world your love. How do you do that?
Marry her?
Do the thing I'm already doing? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I guess, like, in a sense, that's like standing up in front of the world and telling the person that you love them and you want to be with them forever. So, like, that's kind of my angle on it. But are you saying, like, I have to do some sort of feat?
Yes, some sort of, like, something.
I don't know. I'm not very brave. I mean, I guess I could fight a swan.
Well, that is brave, Craig. I think that's very brave of you to fight a swan.
I mean, I'm going to show up with garden shears.
Okay, so you're just hoping for some sort of death situation with a swan.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. What would yours be? This is a weird thing to think about. You're like, I need to prove to the world through some sort of act of courage. Maybe skydive. Like, I heights, so maybe that would be like facing my fear for her. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't even. I don't know. I couldn't even begin. I feel like every day I do stuff to prove to the world.
I'm still here.
And I'm still here. I'm still hanging out. You ever eat something that's just fucking the most disgusting thing? And you're like, no, I love it, though. It's so delicious. And I love you. And thank you so much.
That went very specific.
Yeah,
You're like, it's, I love salt.
it's not oversalted. It's delicious. And you did a perfect job. And thank you. And yum, yum, yum. Yeah. And that's proving my love.
That's true. Okay.
Proving my love to the world.
Your sodium is through the roof.
Oh, yeah. I'm just having a heart attack. My left arm's numb. Just let it happen. It's fine. Shh, shh, shh. Go into the light.
It's just salt. It's good. Yeah, I also didn't understand. So at some point, she's going to die if he doesn't love her. Like, that seemed to have come out of left field.
But
right?
I gotta be honest with you. Some of that I wasn't following it. I think.
Thank you. Right?
Honest, I could have had a second watch, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
No, I don't think it was. The fact that both you and I were like, wait, she dies now
No,
if like, he doesn't love her,
It
and then she
seems-
comes back because he does love her, and like
There are things in this movie that are so overcomplicated, and then other parts of the movie where it's like, oh, we could have used a little complexity on that. We could have used one or two more steps than him just going, sometimes things are not as they seem. Therefore, people are animals. All right, I'm gonna need to. That's got to be a show your work situation,
right?
Okay, I'm handing that back. That's a D-. Okay, I'm gonna have to see what the steps we made.
This is not the conclusion we come to.
Yeah, we're gonna need a little bed mass on that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I need.
Also, but big villain in this, in terms of if you want your daughter's kidnapping solved, I understand last words are probably hard, right? But don't be like,
I forgot about this.
Don't be all cryptic and be like, not everything is as it seems. That, let me tell you, that's advice that can be applied to literally everything in life. Not everything is as it seems.
Yeah, that's something you say to like an enemy to just leave them with something fucked in their mind for the rest of their lives.
Exactly. Not, you know, if this is your last words, you're going to be like, Rothbart. I know who he was. It's Rothbart. Took Odette. Turned her into a swan.
Said something about a swan.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah, I'd just be
Rothbart,
throwing out
magic.
words.
Attack. Odette. Like, yeah, not the things are not what they seem. And then the gracefully passing away.
Not a fucking
Fuck you.
riddle on the way out, a little limerick. Okay, I won't have it. Okay, you useful pieces of information. I can't stand that.
Yeah, write Rothbart in the mud with your blood or whatever. You know what I mean?
Lord in
like,
heaven.
Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, I get it. Last words are hard. Lot on your mind. Death. You're maybe not the most coherent in the world, but not everything is as it seems. Got to be some of the worst parting words.
Potty. But, well, maybe, apparently not, though. Because he
figured
knew
it out.
that was going to unlock.
Took him 6 months, but he finally clued. Oh, my God.
It was the dumbest thing.
See, and that's also the level that king was operating at. You know what I mean? That was his big, that's his big plan to save the woman who's going to inherit the empire. Was like, not everything is as it seems, dead. That's the sort of mental faculty that this man is bringing to bear on things like trade, infrastructure, feudal protection, like whatever, fortification, should we trade with Kingdom A or Kingdom B? It's like the wheat prices have fluctuated a lot. Well, not everything is as it seems. Okay, well, we're gonna go with Rothbart, who knows math. I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna need some hard numbers on that one, actually.
Well, not everything is as it seems.
Absolutely fucking batshit. Oh God, are we ready?
Yeah,
are we feeling it?
Yeah, I think he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Rothbart not in control and barely a bad guy.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Other than, maybe the murder. But it's a maybe murder. You're right.
It's a maybe murder. I don't know.
We didn't see anything.
We
don't know.
That's a rule of movies. If you don't see them die on screen, they might be alive.
Yeah, he's just still laying there, repeating over and over again. Not everything is as it seems.
Just walking by, being like, "Hey, a flower. Well, not everything's as it seems. Oh, look, a dog. Oh, not everything is as it seems." But yes, time to give our definitive rankings of how good the villain is. I've got the jobs a guy named Rothbart sounds like he should have other than evil wizard scale.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
like
Rothbart,
very specific.
Very specific. So on a scale from shoe salesman, Rothbart's fine shoes. Doesn't that just roll off the tongue? Oh my God. Absolutely. To head of a trendy microbrewery, give me a Rothbart's German Pilsner.
Okay. No, that is good. Yeah.
Yeah, people sure would be like, give me a Rothy, but
Yeah, oh yeah.
they do that. I'm going to give Rothbart a cranky podiatrist with poor bedside manner. Yeah, like the paging Dr. Rothbart, right? The kind of guy who's like, yells at kids like, hold still or you're not getting a lollipop. That kind of podiatrist.
Yeah.
Because no one likes him, but he's not a bad guy. He's getting the shit done,
I like it. I like it. Okay, I have the things you shouldn't say when asked why do you love me?
Love it.
From I like the way you look at me to all the way up to I like the way you wiggle, baby. I am going to give Rothbart a, you woman, you're a great cook.
Ooh.
Because it's not the worst, but it's far to be the best.
I love it. Follow-up question.
Yep.
On that scale, I like the way you wiggle is top of your...
That's right.
Someone comes up to you and go like, damn, girl. I like the way you wiggle. That's it. That's sealed the deal for you.
Oh, pretty much.
Damn.
mean...
All right.
On the scale of things you shouldn't say.
Shouldn't say. Sorry. I was like, I thought it was from...
No.
Yeah. Okay,
things you shouldn't say.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
You probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah, you're right.
Although if you're hot enough, you can pull off anything.
Yeah, damn, girl. The way you wiggle.
I like the way you wiggle, baby.
I like the way you wiggle. Oh, wow. All right, guys. We're going to get to our heroes and villains of the week in a second. But first, a couple ways you can support the podcast. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/thevillainwasright. And if you sign up there, you get some amazing benefits. Early release of episodes, audience choice, polls where you get to decide what we cover for the next month, as well as 2 bonus episodes every month. This is February. This is our kind of romantic movie month. And I picked a non-romantic movie for mine. I picked...
There's some romance.
There's some romance. Top secret. Val Kilmer's first movie ever, apparently.
Yeah, his debut.
So if you want to hear us talk about that, head on over to patreon.com/thevillainwasright. And if you want to get in touch with us...
you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all at The Villain Was Right. If you would like to email us directly, you can email us at villainwasright@gmail.com. We do read all of them. We read everything. Do we respond? Sometimes. Sometimes. When we have a burst of energy and a random afternoon, that's when you'll hear back from us.
Yeah.
And now it is time for our heroes and villains of the week. What do you got first, Craig?
Yeah, so I've got a little story. I was on the I guess a villain. This is a villain. I was on the road for 11 days in Montreal and Ottawa. A bunch of you came out and saw some Ottawa shows, so thank you to everyone who showed up. Really appreciate that. Great meeting you. But like on the road for 11 days, staying in hotels, staying in beds that aren't mine, right? Like it's like lots of shows. It wears on you after a while. You're like getting tired. You're like, I want to get home. Comes the night of, like I got one final gig on Monday and I'm like, I'm going to drive home after this and like sleep in my own bed tonight. And then like crazy bad snowstorm, like don't drive in the dark, don't drive in the snow. So I stayed an extra night even. Finally get home like Tuesday. I'm like, this is great. I like showered in my own shower. I was like, and then at night I got into bed. I was like, oh my God, my own bed. This feels so fucking good. Like just, I was like, oh, thank God. Fell asleep immediately. And then next morning, 7:30 a.m., they are demolishing a building
down
the street from me. And I wake 7:30 sharp. They start to the entire bedroom shaking. Like they are pounding the concrete to break it up and the foundation. The light bulbs are shaking in the fixtures. Like the windows, you can hear the windows rattling. And it's just this like boom, and like you like felt it in your chest. I was just like jerked awake. I was like, oh, my bed. I just wanted to sleep in my home bed a little
so
longer.
funny.
And they were like, yeah, it was like actual like the rings from Jurassic Park. Like every glass of water in the house was just like it was
That's so funny.
Yeah. And it was like days and days and days it went on. I think they might finally be
Oh,
done
buddy,
with
that is brutal. Thank God I am just far enough away from that.
Yeah. But it, like you feel it in like your chest.
Yeah.
Like it's like an anxiety thing. It's very strange. But
No, I don't care for that at all. That sounds terrible. I have a villain. So my mom came about once a year. My mom comes to visit me, and we hang out for like, 5 days and just kind of, go to restaurants and go shopping and what have you. Anyway, and my mom came up this time, and mom's like me. She has anxiety. And especially because, she grew up in a small town. She lives in a small town. The city makes her nervous. Okay. It's stressful. It's violent. There's too many people. It's just, she gets a little stressed out. So I had to kind of give her a little pep talk before we leave the building. I'm like, listen, I never have and not saying that these things don't happen or can't happen, but I was like, I haven't had anybody be really violent towards me. It's okay. You know what I mean? Our odds are good. We're going to walk. We're not even going to take the subway. Sun's up. Like, it's all good.
Statistically a very safe city.
I give her this huge speech about how it's fine and it's great and there's no problem. Craig.
Oh, no.
We get outside, and I swear to God, it was like 2 minutes. Like, we were walking for 2 minutes, and there's a man walking down the street, and he starts screaming bloody murder at us, calling us the white devil, saying, I swear to God,
oh, no.
The white devil, we've stolen everything from Africa, we are evil incarnate. Like, he's just screaming everything, and he's actually screaming so much and coming at us so quickly, I think he's gonna deck me because that's the energy. Now, luckily, I was just like, okay, I'm just not gonna make eye contact with him and hope this just keeps moving, and it did. But like for a split second, I was like, this guy's gonna fucking hit me, and this is gonna be a whole thing. And it was just and I started laughing immediately, and my mom was like, so super safe.
This is an aberration. This does not happen.
I was like, holy fuck. I was like, oh man, that's like, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, just,
he's going through stuff.
Well, yeah, he's walking around. That's gotta be exhausting. I don't know how. Anyway, but I was just like, oh, that sucks. Like, we just get outside immediately. It was just so comical how fast the turnaround on it was. It was so fucking funny. Anyway, so that's it. That's my story for today. Anyway, that's it for us, team. You can follow me at Rebecca Reads on any platform of your choosing.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Craig Fake Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well. Rebecca and I are going to be on the East Coast at the end of this month.
East Coast, baby.
Canada. East Coast of Canada, I should say. So guys, if you are in Halifax or Sydney or somewhere in between, come see our show. We're doing like a full co-headline set.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's great. CraigFay.com for show dates if you want that. I'm sure they're also on Rebecca's site. No, she hasn't updated them yet. All right, never mind. CraigFay.com.
Go to Craig's. Go to Craig's.
And links to tickets and everything. And hopefully we will see you guys in Nova Scotia. And that's it for us this week on the podcast. Tune in next week. It's our audience choice. You guys voted. It's Maid of Honor as we continue our kind of romantic movie month. Yeah, Patrick Dempsey. A lot of people thought it was a military movie because of the way it's spelt. Anyway, Patrick Dempsey. There we go. And so tune in for that. That's going to be a great one. And until then, this is The Villain Was Right, reminding you that things are not always as they seem.
The Villain Was Right was produced by Andrew Ivimey for the From Superheroes Network. For more great podcasts like this, as well as YouTube series, webcomics, and so much more, visit FromSuperheroes.com.